Hey guys, so as you guys know, I work at Hy-Vee. I've been there for about, I've been there for 8 years. Back in August was my 8th year anniversary there, if you want to call it that, I guess. Um, I started out in the kitchen in 2008. I worked there for about 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. In 2009, roughly, I got sat down with management in the kitchen and also the HR manager. They told me that I needed to, they would like me in a different department. And their reasoning behind this was that because I am disabled, my right side of my body I'm not very good at, I can't use very well. And I have CP, as most of you guys know. Hasn't stopped me from doing anything in my entire life. My mom always told me when I was younger, um, you can do anything you want to do. You can be anyone you want to be, but always try something before you say you can't do it. I mean, she made me walk on my own when I was little. Um, she, there are so many things in life that at the time when I was younger, she made me do on my own to see if I could do it. And if I couldn't do it, then fine. But anyways, I have CP. As you guys have known, I've had it my entire life. It developed as I got older. When I was about 2 or 3, it started to really be noticeable. Um, and so I got talked to by the manager of the kitchen and HR of the store of Hy-Vee. And they said, what other things are you interested in doing where you don't need as much help and that you're potentially interested in. Well, I said at the time, I said, I'm really interested in potentially working in the deli, but my main focus has always been, I'd like to learn cashiering because I'm, 22 at this point. Yeah, I'm 22 at this point. I'd like to learn that skill because, like, mostly everyone by this time has cashiering skills, and I have never had any in my life. And they said to me, well, we can put you on deli, but we would also like you to try courtesy. And when I mentioned to them, what about cashiering? They told me, well, we're a little leery on that, but because you do need help in the kitchen and it might be hard for you to do. And I'm thinking to myself at this point, why don't you just give me a shot and see what happens? And I just kind of let it go. But so I got put in the deli. I didn't like that because the hours weren't there. So I didn't really have any other choice. I went to courtesy for a day to try it out and I ended up liking it. Granted, I didn't have any other choices at this point. So, as the years progressed, I think it was about a year later, I started asking about cashiering opportunities because there was a new HR and I was hoping it'd be a little bit different. It didn't end up being that way, but I ended up asking her, is there a way I can cashier? And she said, yeah, let me look into it, blah, 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 blah. And, I called her my HR manager, like when I was on vacation. I said, could we look into getting me cashiering trained? And she said she'd look into it. And she also said, let me talk to the front end store director and managers and see what they think. And so I waited about a week, and I called her again right before I came back from vacation, and she said, um, haven't got a chance to talk to anyone yet, but I'm going to today. And so I'm like, okay, well, I waited and waited and waited and waited. Nothing happened. And again, this was about, I probably under exaggerated that time that I started talking to people, but it was about 3 years under my belt at Courtesy before I started asking about cashiering opportunities. So again, she told me she was going to get back to me and never did. So I just let it go. And so I started talking about managers up front about me cashiering and employees about cashiering. They said, you may have a disability, but no one else notices it. And when I talk to you, I don't notice it. And I think you could do the job. I think you would be great at it. And these are coming from managers and employees and friends of mine that I've had outside the company. And I was really motivated to keep pushing them. And so I asked them again, and nothing ever came out of it. And I was so unbelievably, I just so wanted to grow in the company in some way. And I know I'm not going to get to management level. That's not really what I'm interested in right now, or at the time even. And all I wanted to do is gain more skills. And so let's flash forward from the time I've been asking. It was probably, let's just flash forward about 3 years later, 2015. I decided that because I was not getting anywhere with this particular store at Hy-Vee, I was going to move to the new one. And it'd be a nice fresh start for me, and I'd be able to get new opportunities and just kind of grow a different, I guess, a new staff, new employees, just, and so I transferred out there the very first day we opened, and the other store was fine with me transferring. And so I did that, and started off in Courtesy, is, in October of last year. And so once the holidays calmed down, I started asking again, do you think I can get cashier training? And they're like, yeah, we want to do it. We really want to do it. And we need cashiers and blah, 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 blah. And so I waited, and I kept asking throughout the weeks, and nothing happened. And so finally, earlier this year, was it May? It was probably in April or May. I had I had the manager from General Merchandise, GM, and they said, what do you think about working in GM? And I said to them, I would love the opportunity. And so I said, if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it. Well, we already hired you for the position already because we thought you would take it. Because remind you, before this, I was asking around at opportunities that I could do for, like I asked produce, I was asking frozen, I just wanted a new opportunity and more. Obviously, too, I needed some more hours as well, and I was just asking, being very, polite about everything, and I was not pushing by any means, but I was just inquiring about different positions because I saw these positions on our job opportunities board. And so I did that, and so they put me in GM. You're facing, you're stocking, you're putting displays together, whatever the case may be. You're back doing stocking, whatever. It's a fun job for me. And he said, one of the perks was that, bonus, you get to be cashier trained. I'm like, that's awesome. You know, let's get this ball going, and I'm interested, and I'm hopping on board with this GM opportunity. So this is in like end of April, beginning of May. First few weeks went great, went fantastic. I'm having a blast. And as you guys know, back in May 19th, I started having seizures. And so I was out of work starting from August till September 19th, roughly, which was about a month ago now, almost. And so I've been working from May 19th to up to August. And between this time, I kept having seizures. And I was still working in GM, still having a great time doing it. And, during this time, I still had not been cashier trained, because that was part of my job description, is that I get cashier training, and hadn't been done yet. And so I come back in September, and they said they want me to be up front for a while, in courtesy, to just get my bearings straight, make sure nothing happens to me when I'm in case I'm alone and if I have a seizure. So they didn't want me in GM, and so they're like, just get your bearings back, keep you up front for a while, and then we'll put you back in GM when after a few weeks. So flash forward to this week, on Monday, I believe it was. My GM manager said, come here, we'd like to talk. They said to me that the HR manager informed me that they really need help up front. And he kept talking and said that they really need cashiers right now. They really need help on courtesy. While GM needs help too, they need more help up front right now. And so when he talked to the HR manager, he said that, the HR manager would really like to train me on cashiering. And so he said that, well, if you're going to train Yusuf, then I need to be able to hire someone else in my department. So ding, 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 ding. I'm out of GM, at least for now. At least probably till winter, I'm guessing. And they want to put me on cashiering. And so that was Monday. Nothing's happened yet as far as being trained. And right before he talked to me, the GM manager, he goes, I'd been going up to my managers and saying, so do you think I'll be trained soon? And I hadn't even asked that question. My customer service trainer actually walked up to me 2 weeks ago and said, what's your schedule look like? I'm like, well, I said this, this, and this. And she said, well, you want to start training on cashiering like on Friday? I'm like, I would like to, but I know that's a busy day, so I figured, what's the point? And I go, maybe it's best to do it beginning of next week. I mean, let's do it Friday if it's possible, but I understand because it's a busy day. She goes, yeah, okay, so we'll get you in Tuesday, and that was 2 weeks ago. And she said Tuesday, and so then Tuesday rolls around, and I'm like, I asked my front-end manager, could you get a hold of so-and-so to see if I'm going to get trained today? And she called her, and she said to her that it's not going to be today, but it'll definitely be at the end of the week. And of course, I roll my eyes and just whatever. knowingly, I knew that wasn't going to happen, and it never did. And so again, like 2 weeks later, I tell you the story about my GM manager, about them wanting me to cashier up front and take me out of GM at least temporarily, which I have a feeling that will probably be for good. So while I'm being demoted, technically not by anything I did, but it feels like a demotion. But if I can cashier, it won't feel that way. And that's what I want. I want to be able to cashier. That's always been one of my greatest desires, to at least try. I'm not saying I'm going to feel comfortable with it. I'm going to feel I'm going to do good at it, but I want a shot to try. If it doesn't work out, great. At least I know now. But I think I can handle it. A lot of other people think I can handle it. I mean, my HR manager, or not my HR, my GM manager just told me there's no reason why I don't think you can do it. I mean, I've seen people do it that are more disabled than you are. And, like, he had faith in me. And I don't blame him for any of what I'm about to tell you. And let me tell you this as well. I'm so thankful for my job. God gave me a great blessing in my life where I can work as much as I can, and He opens doors for me. He's the one that is the mastermind behind all of this, And I just want to make that clear. But anyways, right now, and I hope it happens today or next week, but I just don't hold my breath anymore, and I'm so frustrated at upper management right now because I've been waiting 8 years for this opportunity. 8 years. Who on this God-given earth waits that long based on upper management? I have a feeling working behind the scenes to not want me to do this. And I'm still getting hours. The perception is that my disability is getting in the way of what I want to do. Not for me, because I want to try, but from my perspective, it looks like and it feels like in the background that they're trying to push me away from cashiering and just stay in courtesy until I get to my boiling point and I just end up finding a different job. And that hurts. And right now I'm at my boiling point. And this is exactly what they want. This is exactly what they want. But at least it feels that way. And maybe it's not this way at all. Maybe I'm overthinking this and whatever. But it feels so terrible. It hurts me so much because I'm actually working with vocational rehab right now, and they think this is ridiculous as well because they know me as a person. They've known me for years, and they know me so well, and they know that I could do this if I just got a shot at it. And waiting 8 years for people that have been there for 2 or 3 months getting cashier trained within 2 months of them being in courtesy is ridiculous. And the biggest slap in the face to all of this is within these last 3 or 4 weeks when I've been told I'm going to be cashier trained, and even before earlier this year, I come in, I walk past all the checker stands, and there's at least 1 or 2 people being trained every day. Brand new people that they're hiring outside of the store, or there's another person that was in courtesy for a few months and they're getting trained. And that's the thing that just rubs me the wrong way. And this is why I have this perception. And maybe I'm wrong. I hope to God I'm wrong. But it feels this way, and I get so frustrated. And so I'm sitting there bagging, and I can't help but on the inside I'm dying. On the inside, I'm just crying on the inside because they're not giving me the opportunity. And it hurts. It really hurts. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I told my wife the other day, like, this is why I get so frustrated, because I'm not given the opportunity. And then I have pressure from the government wanting me to do as much as I can and get out there and work full time. And so would I. I would like to work full time too, but none of these companies give me the time of day to do these things that I want to do in life, because I'm disabled and I can't do this and I can't do that, because the perception is, well, you have a disability and it looks like you can't do these things. When in reality, I might be able to do these things, but you haven't given me a shot. And it's frustrating. It really is. And I'm just telling you, it sucks. It really sucks. So where it stands right now is that I'm just playing the waiting game again. I'm in courtesy, and maybe this week, today's my last day of work for this week. Maybe next week I will get trained. Apparently, my HR manager sent a email to my customer service manager and just told her that I need to be trained on cashiering. And she sent the email the beginning of this year asking her to train me. So I don't hold my breath anymore. I just don't. I get really excited, like I did the other day when my GM manager said, "You're gonna get cashier trained, and we're gonna pull you out of GM, for at least the foreseeable future until things calm down up here, where you can potentially come back." And I just, and nothing anymore is as it seems, and it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. I just don't know what to do. You know, it's just so frustrating that I can't. I just don't get the opportunities. You know, and the thing, another thing that bugs me too, when I was in the kitchen, people were helping me out, because I can't use, my right side very well. Although I can compensate, I can do some things with my right side, but it's very hard. And they gave me 2 pay raises when I was there, and when I was in the kitchen for the year and a half. And I thought to myself, well, if it wasn't working out this whole time, then why don't you just move me sooner? I mean, if you were so concerned about me working in the kitchen, why did you give me the freaking job to begin with? Why didn't you suggest courtesy? And I think there was more to the story than me just wanting to be moved. I think someone else was pulling strings in the background, certain employees that weren't apparently happy with helping me out sometimes. I can't say that for sure, but it definitely felt that way, and I could feel the vibe. So I don't know, guys. I'm very frustrated. I'd like to continue more on this venting, but I gotta get ready for work. Ironically, I gotta catch the bus in about 45 minutes or so, and so like to stay in chat, but this is just what my mind is on right now. I mean, I just sat there yesterday at Courtesy and just was so unbelievably upset. I wasn't, saying anything to anyone, but like I was just so tired and so just utterly disappointed in the fact that I wasn't given this opportunity. I was just sitting there quiet, and I was so out of it. I was so, I mean, I was staring off into space at one point because this was bothering me so much, and I was bagging some groceries, and I I I was bagging in plastic, and I was supposed to be bagging in paper, and I was bagging the opposite way, and it's really affecting me. It's really affecting me, and I wish that I just got the opportunity, you know. All I want is an opportunity. That's all I want. And again, don't get me wrong, guys. I love, absolutely love my job. Courtesy is such a great job, but just because it's a great job doesn't mean I don't want to grow. I love talking to customers. I like going out and helping them out through their cars. I've met so many great people in the last 8 years. People that have come from my old store that I came from, and then I transferred to the new store. They know me from back then, and they come to our store because they know I'm there. And they know that, you know, if they're in the area, they'll stop by and say hi and do grocery shopping. I mean, I've brought customers over because I'm there. And it's such a great foundation to come to a store where you feel comfortable. And I just, I know I'm good at my job, what I do now, but I do want to grow. You know, sometimes there's a time and season for everything, and my season has come, and that's why God opened the door for for me to go to GM for a while. And I know everything's in God's hands, don't get me wrong, but this is more the store getting in the way of what God wants from me. I really feel that way because, I mean, I think God wants me to grow, and I'm being, I'm being, you know, I don't know what the word is. The store isn't cooperating like it should be. It's treating their employees unfair right now, particularly me. But I know there are other stories out there that I've heard that are not very good either. And but my situation is completely different. I've been there for 8 years now. There's no reason why I shouldn't be growing in the company. Again, I don't expect to be a big manager. I don't even expect to be a store manager for that, as far as like department managers. I don't necessarily want that. So, anyways, guys, sorry, my camera got a text message, or my phone got a text message, and so it stops your video, which kind of sucks because I don't remember what I was talking about now. But, anyways, it's just been a very frustrating time at my tenure at Hy-Vee. But I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for everything that God has given me through the time I've been at Hy-Vee, whether it be at home, whether it be in the store, meeting great people, any of those things. And I'm just frustrated. That's what it comes down to. And I'm reaching my boiling point, and at some point here soon, in the next few weeks, if I haven't been cashier trained, vocational rehab will get involved and help me get trained, or I'll be moving on. And that sucks because I love Hy-Vee. I do. I love my job, but I do want to grow. So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to get going. I have to get ready for work, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening always. Peace.